Why don't we jump right into our headline topic this week, which is, of course, that TeamViewer has been killing off lifetime licenses. We're going to get into Redditor Crazy Cats 911's letter that they shared. But first, before we do that, I would like to read from an email that TeamViewer sent me in 2016, in November of 2016. This was for quotation Q75641-Y8F4P2TV:0408275. Okay? Dear Linus, thank you for your email. Attached, please, your special offer to update to version 12. We don't offer free updates, but since you purchased in August, I was able to apply a discount to your update. So this was clearly in response to me being like, yo, WTF, your new software came out literally 3 months after I just paid, I believe it was either $5,000 or $6,000. Do you remember?
No, but it was a lot. Especially at that time, it was a lot.
I spent a substantial amount of money, especially, again, in the context of it being in 2016, a substantial amount of money on a TeamViewer license, with the intention being that I believe it was for a remote employee to be able to access / being able to administer some kind of something. Anyway, the point is I needed a Perpetual TeamViewer license. I needed a couple of seats for it. Our licenses are perpetual licenses. When you purchase a license with us, you make a one-time payment to purchase the version we sell at that time, and all the updates within your perpetual version 10 will be extended to you at no extra charge. Oh, apparently I bought version 10. Okay, I'm not sure of the details here. There are no additional monthly, yearly, nor maintenance fees. That's good to know. Good to know. Thank you, TeamViewer. TeamViewer releases a new major version, EX, V11 to V12, every 12 to 15 months. Version upgrades are new functionality that our users have requested throughout the previous year. As such, updates are absolutely optional and solely based on your decision whether the features of the new version offer you any added benefits or not. Should you decide the new features are of a benefit, you will then need to update your license. As an existing customer, you will receive a substantial discount off the new version list price. We support all earlier versions of TeamViewer. If you choose to stay with the version you originally purchased, you will always find your license supported here. And it sent a link. Blah, 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 blah. Refer to our website for further information about your latest whatever, etc. So there's a couple more emails that go back and forth, but basically I said, let's go ahead with the upgrade at $1,000. TeamViewer 12 was when they added mobile-to-mobile remote access, which was, you know what? I think it was for our 2FA phone.
Hyper old school 2FA solutions.
Yes. Okay. So we had an old phone that we left plugged in that ran our 2FA
That's how old we are, man.
I know, right?
That was when 2FA started.
Yeah, I know. So
2FA through authenticator apps.
Yeah. So there was a phone that sat because in the days before that, our 2FA was just all on my phone. So anytime anyone needed to log into anything, they had to come bother me for a 2FA code.
Or
and as
mine for certain things.
Yeah, as we scaled, so in 2016, this is around the time that we had a substantial enough employees that it was no longer viable for me to just have all the 2FA on my phone. Also, that's crazy. So we had this 2FA phone. So that's what we ultimately decided was worth the upgrade cost. All right. So that's all great. That's all cool information. Thank you, TeamViewer, for letting me know how things work at TeamViewer. Now, let's have a look at the letter
I got it.
that Crazy Cats 911 is sharing over on Reddit. Dear customer, thank you for being a valued TeamViewer customer. So, Luke, tell me something. Hold on. We're going to go back to the cam for a second here. How much work is it for that email to say, dear, your actual fucking name?
That's been a solved problem
instead
for a
of
long
dear
time.
Customer?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's like if I sent you an email, I'm like, dear Luke, thank you for being a valued Luke.
Yeah.
What are we even doing here?
You know how if you repeat the same intro to a paragraph over and over again, it's clunky.
Yes.
This feels like the same thing, but at the end of the sentence. dear customer, thank you for being a valued customer. It's like, just find a different word.
We're reaching out to inform you of an important update regarding your TeamViewer license. Support for TeamViewer versions 11 and 12 will officially end on the 31st of December 2025 as we continue advancing the security and performance of our remote connectivity platform. How does this affect you? Well, licenses will no longer be supported on our global network infrastructure. Excuse me? That's not what you sold me.
Yeah.
I just read you guys the quote Q756412-Y. Okay, sorry, I won't read the whole thing again. But I just read you guys the quote where TeamViewer sold me a $1,000 upgrade to software that I had just paid. Maybe it was a year prior. But the point is, I had just paid $5,000 for this software. Okay, here's the thing, TeamViewer. There's two models for licensing software. There's the subscription model where you charge a low fee, okay, over a long period of time while I'm using it. Or there's the one where you charge me an exorbitant fee and then I own it forever. Like you said, our licenses are perpetual licenses.
Anybody that has a service that takes active maintenance that sells a perpetual license, I question it.
Well, that's their problem. That's
I
not my problem as the customer.
Agree with you in this situation. It makes me question things.
That is honestly, I'm more offended than placated by them offering to allow me to use these versions for LAN connections.
Yeah.
On a LAN, I could just use Windows remote desktop connection. Like what would I need TeamViewer for if I was on a LAN with the? I've never heard of VNC. Like what are you even talking about? Why this change? As security standards evolve, older software versions like TeamViewer 11 and 12 become more susceptible to vulnerabilities, and that's fair enough.
100%.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
Maintaining these poses security risks and, limit our ability to provide you with the most stable and secure experience. And that, you know what? I mean, that's valid. That's valid.
Absolutely.
Except for one small problem. Our licenses are perpetual licenses. There will be no additional monthly, yearly, nor maintenance fees. Luke's laptop again. Your options.
You're here. You're here.
No, I'm done with that.
All right.
Your options. We highly encourage you to consider upgrading to the latest version of TeamViewer. As a valued customer, we're pleased to offer you an exclusive upgrade discount should you choose to transition to a subscription plan.
I have an idea. What do you think they should have done?
That's a good question.
I think I know what I would have proposed in this scenario.
What should they have done? Okay, well, so I gotta admit, I'm a little bit emotional in this case,
sure,
right?
Yep.
Because I'm in it. We talk all the time about how unacceptable it is for whether it's a software service or whether it's a hardware service or like a smart home thing where they just turn off the infrastructure and what people paid for. The deal is effectively altered. Pray I don't alter it any further, right?
Yep.
Like we talk about it all the time, but in this case, I have skin in the game.
Yeah.
I paid thousands of dollars for this software that explicitly, like I made real they were proactively communicating to me that this was a perpetual license in perpetuity forever, with no additional cost. So with that in mind, I think it's hard for me to look beyond, well, if they don't want to maintain this version of the software anymore, then they should give me the new version of the software.
My answer is that, but only sort of, I think.
Sure, hit me.
I think because, I don't think upselling is necessarily a horrible thing as long as you're still taking care of the customer. So I don't think you can just abandon them. You have to give them something. I think you could give them your oldest currently supported version, but then you're kind of just asking to do this song and dance again pretty soon. Mm-hmm. You could give them a feature cut down version So it matches the features that they used to have, but it's on the new infrastructure or something. I don't know, new app thing. I don't know what all the changes are.
Well, that's the thing is
Same infrastructure,
That
I
email
guess.
about how they have new versions of TeamViewer every 12 to 15 months
Yeah, so they'd have to do this.
is
Like
from
every year.
2016. What are we even up to for TeamViewer versions now? Like they're
don't know.
clearly not
I
updating
don't
every
really
12.
use TeamViewer much anymore.
Well, yeah, who does?
Yeah.
Do they even have oh God, look at this site. Okay. Ew.
What?
What am I even looking at?
It looks
Ew.
pretty normal for a site to me. I don't like it, but like,
what is this product? How am I supposed to know what this product is?
yeah, to be fair, that image on the right means nothing. actually.
Absolutely nothing.
I thought you meant like the layout was gross.
No, I just mean I have no idea what I'm even looking at
isn't-
here. What even is this?
Does it have like, oh, it's AI junk. Oh.
Okay, it's called TeamViewer Remote. View plans and pricing, more like view lies.
Few lies. He's not upset at all.
Okay, does it even have a numbered version now? What even is this?
I think you'd want to go downloads. Yeah,
All right, I'll check
free
downloads.
download.
I can't even find the stupid downloads now. Contact, guides and manuals. It's all just buy. Hold on. Okay, free download. Hey, there we go. Okay. So if I download it, it'll tell me the version number somewhere. Where's my download?
It does not, by the way.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Maybe if
So
you
anyway-
install it or something, I'm not sure.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make is I don't need AI nonsense in my like remote access application. So
Latest version is 15.66.5.
yeah, there you go. So in 9 years, they have managed to find 3 12 to 15 month, feature drops to do for
Other
this
than
software,
AI junk. I don't know what else they would add.
which seems to. Well, I can think of things they could add. They could add super low latency like Parsec. That's something they could add. They could add super high bit depth like color for color accurate work. I don't know. They could add all kinds of things. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
You
basically,
gotta-
what broke down was them being able to develop compelling reasons for their customers to
I
continue
think so.
to upgrade.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can't just cut those people off. You got to give them something. I think you could not give them more than they had, but you can't just leave them behind. And you could use this as an opportunity of like, hey, use some of that, the email fill where you replace customer with their name and do like, you've had the service for X amount of years. We'll give you some like modulated discount based on that. If you upgrade to the newest version, this is the free upgrade we're offering you now because we don't want to support that old version anymore. That seems fine to me.
Tell me this. Because a big part of my issue, a big part of the reason that after TeamViewer like harassed me once they switched to a software as a service model rather than a perpetual license, they like badgered me. Like I had to call them out on WAN Show to get them to stop emailing me and even calling me, if I recall correctly. Did they call me?
I think they called you.
Yeah.
I think they called you more than once.
Like they were bothering me to upgrade to their software as a service subscription model. A big part of the reason that I decided to never give them another penny and never upgrade is that they don't offer a perpetual license anymore. If they did, we absolutely had remote employees who at the time were using VMs to access our infrastructure so that we didn't have to have other solutions that we have now that give people
VMs?
remote. Yeah. So you would remote into a VM and that would give you access to the server locally rather than us having a tunnel offsite. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We have way better stuff now.
Okay.
The point is that there are definitely times that I would have considered upgrading TeamViewer for more features or better multi-monitor support or like whatever. I don't know. But one of the big reasons that I decided to never give them another penny and never upgrade from 12, and one of the reasons I was so angry about their persistence in badgering me to upgrade was that they didn't offer a perpetual license anymore. Like they gave up on the business model that was successful in extracting $1,000 from me for a version upgrade. For what? So that I will never give them another penny? I mean, if they came to me and were like, if they came to me and were like, hey, this is unforeseen. We didn't know that 9 years later we would only have 3 new versions, but how about this? We'll do a perpetual license with the understanding that it might not be forever, but it's not a subscription.
It's let's call it 5 years or something.
Can you give us like $1,000 and we'll get you on the latest version or something like that? I'd consider it. I would actually consider it. But what I will not consider is just paying forever for something with no end. I can't do it unless your name's Adobe, Microsoft, Google. I mean, yeah. Am I the unreasonable one? Should I just take it on the chin on this one? Tell me. Like, I want to know.
No, you bought a perpetual license. You couldn't on those other services, you know? I mean, technically, I think the problem is actually value, now that I think about it, because you would have had a perpetual license to some of those old versions for Adobe, and Adobe is one of the last companies on earth that I want to sit here and defend. But
CS6 technically still works.
Yep, and you don't want to use it. You want the new one. Therefore, you'll go get the new one. There you go.
But CS6 puts absolutely no strain whatsoever on Adobe's infrastructure.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, anytime anyone that requires consistent investment in order to provide you a service, anytime they sell a perpetual license, I squint my eyes a little bit and I question and I wonder what's going on. And sometimes it's explainable. Sometimes they need a effectively VC style cash injection.
Right. Yep.
And it's like, okay, maybe that makes sense.
We've got to get over the next
hump. Still suspicious to me, to be honest, because that makes me question how sustainable this is in the future. But it can make sense. And there are a bunch of different versions where I've been like, okay, you know what? Sure. At this point in time in your company, it totally makes sense that you need a cash injection. I will buy the thing because having a perpetual license to me is awesome. I would way rather that than a subscription. But like if I'm looking at a service that I run, like perpetual licenses for Flowplane.
Oh, that would make no sense.
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing that. We don't need the cash injection. And that would suck for us because we need to maintain that like 5 years from now. And we're not planning on Flowplane going anywhere. So if I know I'm going to have to maintain it this whole time, that's just going to suck.
So tell me this then. Because we've talked a lot about piracy. A ton. We've had some views on it that largely the community has agreed with, and we've had some views on it that largely the community has not agreed with. And you know what? That's life. Sometimes people agree about things, and sometimes they disagree about them. I feel that my ownership of a TeamViewer license that was perpetual, that was promised to me as being perpetual, I believe that even if they have changed their terms of service, I'm entitled to pirate their software now. Do you think that, I'm not talking from a legal standpoint.
No.
But I'm talking from just like my personal moral code standpoint.
Justice instead of judicial.
I believe that I would not lose a wink of sleep.
I wouldn't question it.
If I pirated TeamViewer software now.
I wouldn't question it at all. Obviously, for work, we can't do that unless you want to fight legal battles. But on a personal level, no way. So
tell me this, because this is an area that I've always felt is a little bit more gray. We're actually in the process of helping with the restoration of an old show called Reboot. Did you ever watch Reboot? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so this is kind of hypothetical, so bear with me for a little bit here, guys. Because normally you wouldn't have consumer media on a format that is so hard to play back. But it's actually the archival masters of the show that are on a format that is so obscure that Jake Tivey is kind of managing the project for us on the background. We're kind of like sponsoring the restoration, sort of, but also Kioxia is involved. Shout out Kioxia. Anyway,
they seem to decently often be involved in cool things.
I know, right?
I have nothing to do with any of this. This part is not a sponsor for them at all.
They just get it.
I just, every time I'm like, that sounds like a crazy project. And then I hear like, yeah, and Kioxia's behind it. I'm like, yeah.
Kioxia just likes their name attached to like cool shit as far as I can tell.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Sweet.
Easy.
Nice.
So anyway, they reached out and they were like, hey, we need another $7,500 because the only two, I want to say like read heads or something like that. I'm not
familiar with this.
The only two brand new read heads in the world belong to this guy who's like really old.
Wants $7,500 for
them. And if we don't get them now, that's basically like it.
Oh, because they could estate sale or something.
Who knows?
You might not know what happens.
Who knows? And anyway, what it made me think of when we were going through this TeamViewer topic was like, tell me this. If you bought a copy of some media, and we're getting to the point where, I think you could make a very strong argument for the coming generation.
Sorry. Mushroom and Flipping Chat said Kioxia is the Red Bull of storage. And I just thought that was really funny.
Actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where I feel, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel that a generation or two from now could be the first generation for whom media from like 100 years ago, like a movie from like 100 years ago, could actually still be like entertaining to watch. Like, when you were a kid in 1990, would you have really consumed any media from 1890?
No.
Like, whereas like, okay, 25, 35, 40 years from now, do you think you could potentially watch? Oh man, it's tough because like, will everything just be like stereoscopic or like, I don't know. For Yvonne, she won't watch anything where the audio quality sucks. So that was like a major turning point in music recordings, like anything from like the 50s. She won't listen to it because the audio quality is just like not good enough. But as soon as we got into like the 70s, when amplifiers and when tape and when high fidelity recording instruments started to
there's some stuff
really
from the
appear
70s that I think can stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is there could come a time when you could have purchased a copy, a license, if you will, for a piece of media, say a movie. Let's use a movie as an easy example because movies are so central to the conversation around piracy, right?
Yeah.
So there's a movie that you purchased that is on a format that, through no fault of your own, you can no longer play back. Kind of like
this is a
the
thing
tape
that happens.
heads.
This happens with video games.
Sure. But is in a format that you can no longer play back or access. Would you, as the owner of said license, said physical license for it, would you lose any sleep downloading the 18K Blu-ray or whatever exists in the future for that content, knowing, like my TeamViewer license, that it has been upgraded in that time. It's been upscaled or remastered in Dolby Atmos 3 or whatever it is. You kind of get what I'm saying, right?
My general action here is that I buy the new thing.
You buy the new thing.
And I see that as if work has been put into it. But my problem is, I don't think this is an equivalency because I didn't lose access because of the company's actions that I bought the thing from.
Yeah.
That's a huge, distinct difference.
Okay, so we'd have to have a hypothetical where it's some Disney movie and it was on some Disney exclusive physical format that they then EOL'd and like bricked all the players for.
Then I don't...
then that's different.
That becomes a little bit more gray. I don't think I would care.
I think that one's black and white.
I think I would just download the thing.
Yeah, okay. So basically what I'm picking up, what I think you're throwing down is that, sure, in that case it wasn't any fault of your own, but it also wasn't the fault of the license issuer. So it's
like
it's
if I bought a DVD And they don't make DVD players.
Sure.
But I can't get DVD players anymore. This isn't true.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But if it was true.
But it's a no fault, it's an accident.
Yeah, then I'll buy the new one.
Okay, but if it is through the actions and false representations of the license issuer, then a big, f*** you, pretty much.
I would also like to point out, top IMDb list. You've got 1994, 1972, 2008, 1974, 1957.
Embarrassingly, I have not seen any of them. Neither have I. You haven't seen The Godfather? We should add that to our movie. We're having movie night tonight.
I have a feeling if I did, it was a super long time ago, probably with my parents or my dad or something. It's very likely I saw part of it. A lot of my TV and movie watching forever ago was because my computer was in the room that the TV was in, and I'll be on the computer playing games or messing around with operating systems or doing whatever the heck I was doing.
Sure, printing out pictures.
Not when they were home. And watching TV on the side.
That's how he got busted once.
I did. There was
printing out photographs.
It was a spooling issue, and it printed the last one out way later, and I didn't know, and it was just still in the tray, and my mom found it. It got banned off the computer for a month. I don't remember the details 100%.
Knowing your mom, you're lucky you only got a month.
Yeah, there was some. That's actually, if I remember correctly, that's why the computer was there.
Right.
I think it was upstairs. Oh man, I'm trying to remember it right now, but anyways. Yeah, dude, once you get to the 90s, it pops off.
Yeah. Oh shoot, we're not on your laptop anymore.
Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction,
yeah,
Schindler's List.
How watchable are all those movies today? Then again,
Shawshank Redemption.
Dude, maybe part of that is just that was the media of our childhoods.
Fight Club.
I have a hard time imagining the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Goodfellas.
People trying to watch it and just being no, this is shit, forget it.
Apparently this is a problem.
Oh no, I mean my kids can make it through it, but
yeah,
I just mean for people who
kids also might be a little young for it.
Yeah, maybe it was my son. So
yeah, he's probably not.
Yeah, would it come out in 2001?
Yeah, Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, 2001. So I would have been I would have been 15. Yeah, maybe he's a little young. Because I enjoyed the heck out of it when I was 15.
I loved it, and I
really?
was
what? You love Lord of the Rings?
Oh my goodness!
No, I'm just kidding.
I was unless this released after November 12th, I was 10. What the heck? That doesn't make sense. Wow.
Yeah, aging's funny.
It's been a long time. No, I just thought I was older when that came out. That's all.
Anyway, in summary,
guess not.
Eat shit, team viewer. I will never give you another cent.
Yeah, time to get pirated.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, actually, you just kind of suck now and we'll use something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make it less bad? I guess the impact is lower.
Yeah,
we haven't really used it in a long time.
No, I still use it just out of convenience for one VM that I just haven't bothered to install something else on.
Well,
that a VM that I've just had for years and years and years that I've just never bothered to install something new on.
You have to figure something out.
I mean, it's pretty. I'll just use Parsec.
Yeah,
Parsec still has a free version of the service. So
what I mean by figure something out. To be clear.
And I think don't we have corporate Parsec anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, here's a question: why am I willing to pay a subscription to Parsec?
They didn't change the deal on you.
Oh.
Also that.
Interesting.
But we would, and you didn't.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they didn't change the deal. They didn't alter the deal. This was the deal.
That's true. And they offered something that the competing service didn't. Extremely low latency.
Yeah.
Which during
honestly,
COVID, when we added it to our infra, was essential for getting our videos edited when like the office was effectively a quarantine zone.
It's got great multi-monitor support as well.
It didn't in the early days, but
we've played video games over it. We played tape to tape.
Yep.
Over Parsec.